I think it's cool if people identify with something in a song, and that's a really awesome, special thing to be a part of on both sides. But in terms of people, finding themselves or saving their life or something like that, like that's something that each person does themselves. And I don't think that it would be fair for any band or song to take credit for such a personal thing.
It's always good. But music does help people too.
Yo, it definitely helps. It can be a catalyst, but it's just, I don't think people should not take credit for finding that strength for themselves, because it really comes from
totally
themselves.
Understandable. So do you guys read everything that's sent to you on Twitter?
Huh?
Do you read everything that's sent to you on Twitter?
You can't, unless I sat on there all day and just read it, you can't. But I try and respond to some stuff. I read it, and I do read it regularly, but you can't.
Well, my phone doesn't cache everything because the battery dies like this if you just have been doing that all the time. So, I'll flip through it everyone like whenever I can, especially when you're sitting on the bus and you're doing those rides. Sometimes I'll do those question and answer things. Ian will do some of that stuff too.
I like those.
And at that point, you're reading every single one. And the rest of the time, you flip through when we're not doing work. When you
I actually thought I'm gonna do in the next couple of days. I'm actually gonna do an AMA on Reddit, like an Ask Me Anything thing.
Oh yeah.
So I'll spend like a few hours and just answer whatever people want to know.
So do you guys have a favorite video you've done so far?
I actually like our new one. That's just
So do I.
It's pretty good.
Is there anything like we should expect from it, like that's out of the ordinary?
Well, we packaged a lot of stuff into this one video.
There's a lot of packaging.
Revealing moments, skin tight leotards.
Yeah, there's it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination in this video.
Is that your guys' favorite video you've done?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Alright, so I know my favorite.
If I were to have top 3, like from each record or something, I think this would be my favorite one from this album. The last album, my favorite one is probably Celebrity Status, I would say.
Yeah, it was fun filming.
First record, I'd say Shank Tramp was my fave. Actually, I thought Decided to Break it was a good video. Even though the song didn't do well, it was a good video. It was a fun video.
Yeah, actually, those are my 3 favorites.
Speaking of Decided to Break It, did you have to really eat all those raw eggs, Josh?
Oh yeah.
I sure did, and I broke my ribs on that video shoot in the first shot of the first day, and it was all that physical stuff. So that whole shoot was like 2 days of just vicious, horrible pain because I had like broken ribs on my left side, and I was like ripped on painkillers that whole video because that was the only way I could do it. It was terrible.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So how have you guys?
It was the shot in the beginning of the video. There's a part with me running on a treadmill and I ran out of control and fall. Which we had a crash pad, but I fell and landed right on my elbow, and it went right into my ribs. And just And then we were on the road like 2 days later. It was terrible. I was sitting up and stuff for a long time. It sucked.
That sounds very painful.
Yeah.
So how have you guys grown as musicians since 16?
Well, with Pro Tools getting better and better, I'd say we've gotten shittier and shittier. But Pro Tools has gotten amazing.
True.
Did you guys have jobs prior to being in a band?
Yes.
Yes.
What did you guys do?
We all worked in restaurants.
I was a bartender.
We did. I was a waiter. I was a shitty waiter. I was the waiter you don't want to get. You know what other job I had, though, that I was sweet at? Although I did get fired from 2 of them in the same day. But I used to do singing telegrams, which was pretty sweet. So people would it was someone's birthday or whatever, and they would order a singing telegram, and I would show up at someone's office with a bunch of balloons dressed in a gorilla suit and sing a bunch of songs and embarrass them in front of their coworkers. That was my job.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, with radio ever changing, how do you feel it's helped your band with the music and everything, with everything going online and stuff as well?
Wait, do you mean, are you talking about changes in trends in the music industry, or are you talking about changes in trends in music style?
Well, maybe radio's going to being online stations, which is what I'm doing now, since there's so many that are getting closed down and everything too.
I find online stuff actually is really been helpful for us because we were grinding out for a long time in Canada just to get any traction and build a fan base, but we've come down to the United States and we are way ahead of where we started in Canada. And I mean, other than word of mouth, and there can't be that many people in Canada talking to the Americans, there has to be the internet is the only thing it could be. So it's actually really helping us, despite the people talk about diluting sales and things like that. It's effective, and then you've got these stations that that can play music that isn't the suggested top 30 or 40 or whatever it is in the format, which is also nice for us.
Right. So, do you guys take yourselves seriously, like super seriously, outside of music?
Extremely. I walk around in a karate gi with a black belt at all times. When
Ninja
I'm
style?
not working.
The only thing that
Well, I don't know how to do it. I just like to look very serious.
I gotta say that's the shittiest part about success to me. The thing that I had to change, which is really unfortunate, is I used to be the guy in my group. I don't really hang out with musicians, and I used to be the guy. I was always the guy in my group of friends who would be like the obnoxious, boisterous one who would embarrass his friends in public. And once it got to a point in Canada where if I caused a scene somewhere to embarrass my friends, but then people would be like, "Why is that